We're live.
Welcome to the Lost Together podcast. I'm Joe, and this is still my attempt to convince Morgan that Lost is one of the greatest television shows that's ever been produced, acted in, directed, shot in Hawaii, where we're going
Very
in
excited.
6-7-ish months. So, that's super exciting for us. But also beside the point, today we're going to be discussing an episode that originally aired on March 20th, 2008. It is the 8th episode of the 4th season of Lost, and it is called Meet Kevin Johnson. After the cliffhanger ending at the end of the last episode where we got reintroduced to Michael, portrayed by Harold Perrineau, who was last seen betraying all of his friends and sailing off on a dinghy. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, and magically he's back.
Yeah, I mean, not magically. So we got treated a little bit to the howl, which is what 80% of this episode, roughly.
Yeah, there's a lot of explanation going on.
They really got to catch
Thank
you
goodness.
up, to what's going on, basically. Yeah. So what'd you think about the episode?
I thought it was great. This is an excellent level of exposition. So much stuff is explained. I wasn't left with what? There was some stuff that happens in this episode where I was like, what? Because it was crazy, but not because I'm like, what? I'm confused,
Yeah, there obviously for me there's too much exposition, but there were a couple of moments where I think they could have gone a lot more ham-handed with the exposition where they didn't, and we'll get to that. I think the writing on Lost is good writing by and large. I just happen to have an issue with exposition, so that's maybe just a personal thing.
It is.
But I just don't want it to feel unnatural. And there were parts of this episode that felt really natural, and I'll get to that. There's one specifically that I'm thinking about, and I'll stop you when you get there to talk about it. But so we get to see Michael, what he's been up to, and then learn a little bit more about the freighter and what's going on with that. So I guess we should just go ahead and launch right into it so we can recap and then discuss.
Okay. So for the second time, we get to see Michael in a shitty living situation. Because isn't he broke as hell in the beginning before he gets with the girlfriend that's the lawyer?
Yeah, because he's an artist.
He's an artist, right. So he's
yeah.
broke. So he's broke again, and he's in this horrible rundown, looks like there's venereal diseases on the wall type place. And he's like writing notes, rips it off, pins it to his chest. Old school. That is so old school. That's how people used to send their kids to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So.
Except he was not going to the grocery store.
No, he was trying to go to the grocery store in the sky, you know what I mean? Because he gets in his car and hoofs it into a building or something and doesn't die. Does not die. So apparently the magic of the island transcends, the coastline.
Which gets explained.
Right. So he wakes up in the hospital and he's like, damn it. And we talked about it when we were watching the episode. That is a terrible method. If you're going to try to go to the grocery store in the sky, driving your car into a wall ain't it. Because you might live and be maimed, and that would be worse.
Yeah, the survival rate for car, because there's a lot of fatalities by, car accident. But I think if I feel like I remember this right, that it's something to do with it's lower if there's just one occupant in the car, something like that. So it's like if it's just the driver, I think the fatality rate is lower. And so
Wonder why that is.
Well, I mean, in this case, he's committing suicide, but maybe he's not 100% committed to it. He's hesitant or whatever, and
right
maybe
at the last second or something.
Maybe comes off the brake a little bit. But also, we know that's not why he survived. He didn't survive because he was being hesitant. He survived because of how we'll explain later. But he was pretty destitute before. He's destitute now.
Yeah, he was not destitute when he was married to the lawyer, but. Yeah.
Well,
they had a nice house.
Yeah, they had a brief period where he lived, nice. But,
Yeah. So anyway, he wakes up in the hospital And he sees Libby standing at the door, and she's like, "What's wrong, Michael?" And then he screams, and then he like wakes up for real, and the nurse is like, "It's a miracle that you're alive. I'm so glad you're here. You had a note pinned to your chest for Walt. Do you want me to call him?" And Michael goes, like that.
Yeah.
So she was like, "What is that, like your brother, your dad?" And he's like, "Mm-hmm." So that's that. So then he goes to his mom's house, like in the middle of the night, and beats on the door. She opens the door and she's like, "What do you want?" And he's like, "I want to see my son, because that's my right as a father." And she goes, "You gave up your rights as a father when you ran away for 2 months and wouldn't tell anybody where you were at. And then when you came back, you told Walt something that scarred him. So until you're ready to fess up and tell me what the hell you said, you need to get on out of here." So Michael's like, "Fine."
I think she mentions too that Walt doesn't want to see him, right? I think she mentions that.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Michael's like, "Fine." So he goes to walk away, and then Walt is like standing up in his bedroom looking down at him, and he holds the curtains up for a second, and then he goes like, and walks away. Walt's very upset, and he's upset because Michael told him that he killed Ana Lucia and Libby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember why he told him.
Well,
I think he just
Tom accuses him, and he doesn't deny it. So we'll get to that.
Okay. Yeah. So then he goes to a pawn shop, and he's got a wristwatch, and he gives it to the guy, and he's like, "How much will you give me for that?" Or no, he doesn't. He says, the guy says, like, "What is this, from Korea?" And he's like, "Yeah, the guy who gave it to me was from Korea. Anyway, I want to trade you this for a gun and some bullets." And the guy's like, "All right." I didn't even know you could do that.
Yep, pawn shops.
I did not know you could trade for things at pawn shops.
As long as the value is equivalent. Yep.
Yeah, I thought they gave you the money and then you like. You ever seen that?
No, because from the pawn guy's perspective, let's say that he was going to sell that gun for $400 or whatever, and he thought the watch was worth $400, or better yet, he thinks the watch is worth $500 and the gun's worth $400, and this guy's like, "All I want is a gun." He's like, "Sold, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be able to sell this watch and get $100 extra bucks.
That makes sense.
That I wasn't gonna get from this gun. So like,
yeah.
And then I'm not out any inventory. I'm a pawn shop. Pawn shop's got everything you can think of. It's not a gun store. Mm-hmm. So like, it's good capitalism right there. Like I made a pretty good profit there. Guns are relatively inexpensive compared to a watch like a Rolex. You know.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of watch it was.
It was for Mr. Pike, so it wasn't.
I'm sure it was a nice watch.
It wasn't a Walmart watch.
No. So he goes out to the little alleyway and tries to kill himself, and the gun won't go off. And then some man goes, "Hey, can you give me the time?" And he freaks out and tries to hide his gun, and it's Mr. Friendly. And I knew it was him. As soon as he spoke up, I was like, and at this point, I did not understand where we were at in the timeline of things. So once Mr. Friendly shows up, he's like, "Hey, good luck with that, but you're wasting your time because the island still has shit for you to do, so it's not going to let you die." And Michael's like, "I don't know what you mean." And he was like, "Oh, okay, so you think that gun just jammed?" Oh, they end up pulling guns at each other. Mm-hmm. And Michael walks up and he's like, "Do it!" And Mr. Friendly's like, "I couldn't even if I wanted to. Like, I really couldn't." So he's like, "I'm staying over at the penthouse in this hotel. Come and see me later." So Michael tries to shoot himself again, and it doesn't work. So he's like, "Damn, I guess I'll go see Mr. Friendly." So he does. And this is one of the first direct times that we get the insinuation that Mr. Friendly's gay.
So this is the part where they did the exposition correctly. Mm-hmm. So rather than Michael looking, dubious, and then Mr. Friendly going, "Yes, I'm homosexual, and this is my long-term boyfriend who I've exclusively been with for a long time." That's what all exposition sounds like to me, right? But instead, they just show them obviously being romantic together. He sends him off, and they continue on with their conversation.
Yeah, and he says, like, when I get to come to the mainland, which isn't very often, I like to
indulge
eat this,
myself,
eat this nice food and spend time with Arturo or whatever.
Yeah.
So
like, yeah, that's the right way to say Mr. Friendly's gay.
He's gay.
That's the right way to say it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So Mr. Friendly goes on to tell Michael that he literally is not going to be able to die because the island is not going to let him die because he needs to go on this boat. Because the people on the boat are on a mission to get Ben off the island, and they're going to kill everybody on the island. So he wants Michael to go on this boat, and it's going to be his way to, like, make up for what he did.
Atonement.
I don't know about that, but anyway, that's the plan. Miss Friendly's like, get on this boat, and Michael's like, why would I go back to work for you people? And Mr. Friendly's like, what do you mean you people? We're the good guys. Like, some dude named Winmore sunk this... Oh, that's when he was going to kill himself. The gun didn't jam the second time when he's back in his shithole apartment. The TV's on. He's getting ready to shoot himself, and then the news comes up that they found the plane at the bottom of the ocean with all 300 and however many people dead inside. So then he's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go see Mr. Friendly. So Mr. Friendly says that Mr. Widmore bought a Boeing 747, filled it full of dead bodies from Thailand, and sunk it so that people would not know where to look for the actual plane. But he knows where it is somehow. So, don't know how, but... So, Michael's like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll do that. So, his mission is to get on that boat and kill everybody. Kill everybody on the boat. There wasn't any directive about, like, after you kill everybody, go get your friends. It's just kill everybody on the boat.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's how Michael ended up on the boat. He goes to the dockyard or whatever, and he meets Naomi, and she's, running shit, whatever, and she says, like, you got a package, and it's got Kevin Johnson across the front of it, and she says, it's just for you, like, we're not supposed to open it. I was like, okay. So, he also meets Minkowski. Yeah, and he's like not crazy yet, so he's fun and whatever. And then he also meets Miles, who completely calls his bluff of like, your name's not Kevin Johnson, but I don't give a shit. So he's like, everybody's lying, it's fine. Yeah. Michael's just like, okay. So he gets on the boat, he opens up his little box, and it's a damn bomb. And he opens it, and it looks just like the keyboard on the computer.
In the hatch.
And it's got the execute button, which, they have to push when they're doing the numbers.
Every how many minutes?
108.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Michael, hesitates, whatever. He's like, ooh. And then he goes, I love you, Walt. And he hits execute. And it was like a fucking Acme gun. Like,
it's a little flag.
Yeah, like a Wile E. Coyote, like, pink. And it says, not yet. I was like, this is the third time this man has committed to die. Well, fourth, I guess. And he just, at that point, you just quit trying, because the cosmos and the island are against you. So that's pretty much all the shit with Michael.
Yeah.
So on the island, some crazy shit is going down. They're all still at Ben's house, and Locke comes in and he's like, hey, we got to figure out what we're going to do. And Sawyer's like, well, Ben, how about you tell us? Oh, Locke brings Miles in. And Sawyer's like, hey, Ben, how about you tell us who your spy is on the boat? And he goes, it's Michael. Michael's my spy. And they're all like, what? And he says that, what does he say? He says that he can't just give Miles back to the people on the boat, because they only want him, and once they get him, they're going to kill everybody on the island. And Miles goes, yeah. So now they're like, well, big. Like, what do we do? So, let's see. I can't remember what they all decide to do, but Ben calls Danielle and Alex over, and he whips out a little map, and he's like, hey, listen, you need to go to the temple. All the other others are already there. Just go. He says, they're going to use you to get to me because they know you're my daughter. You just need to get the hell out of here. And your mother will protect you. So, off they go. And then Carl gets shot, And then Danielle gets shot. And then Alex stands up and goes, I'm Ben's daughter. So she's just giving herself up to whoever the hell this is that's shooting at him on the island. Mm-hmm. Don't know who it is. So that sucks.
Yep.
And then Saeed and Desmond finally confront Michael. And Saeed's like, he manhandles him up against the wall. And he's like, hey, you're going to tell me what the fuck you're doing on this boat. And Michael says, I'm here to die. I hate. What do you mean? Why did you say that?
No, because you're getting part of that out of sorts a little bit. Because he puts him up against the wall before the flashback. Mm. Okay. And then the flashback happens.
And he's explaining.
And then he's like, I have explained all this.
Yes.
Thusly, I'm here to die. Right.
Although, even still, no, you're not. You're there to kill everybody.
Honey, he got on the boat and found a bomb, and he thinks that he's dying on that boat.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess I had it in my brain that he was just going to like pop, 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 just kill everybody.
He wasn't given a gun. He was going to bomb.
Oh, that's true. Also, his directive was to go in there and fuck up the communication room and the navigation stuff. So he's the reason that all the stuff was ripped up out of the walls.
Yeah.
The captain is like beating the piss out of some dude on the deck, and he's like, I didn't beat this man to scare you. I beat him to save your life. And then he's like, Johnson, come clean this up. So he does. So then Saeed just gets furious and basically takes Michael by the ear, drags him into the captain's room, and he's like, this guy was on the plane with us. He's lying to you. His name's not Kevin Johnson. It's Michael, whatever his last name is. And yeah, he's from the plane. So then the captain's like, what? Lost.
The captain's face at the end of that is like every first time watch Lost viewer's face at the end of an episode.
Yeah,
Lost. Like what? Right, like at the end of every first time you've ever watched one of these episodes, you're like, what the?
How the hell did you get here? I'm so confused.
Yeah. So overall, good.
Great.
Episode.
It's a great episode. Yes.
I think this one was, you like the ones that have a little bit more action, a little bit more exposition.
Yes.
And boy, are things about to ramp up. And we haven't had character die since Charlie, right? I think.
Yes, he's the last one. And so when Carl died, I was like, oh no, like her boyfriend. But then when fucking Danielle got shot, I was like, damn, they just got back together. And they did this sweet little thing. Her and Carl's shot, and Alex is like, no. And Danielle's like, he's gone. We gotta go. And so they hold each other's hands and they count 1, 2, 3. She's immediately gone. I was like, damn. Oh, this poor baby. She just met her mom. She just lost her boyfriend. Her dad's a liar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bless her.
So
it's gonna be her freaking villain origin story. I said village and...
I made some notes.
Okay. Greg keeps telling us to listen to the music.
No, hold on.
Oh.
That's probably in what we're talking about.
Mama Cass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I made a note about Ben, Danielle, and Alex acting like a little family unit in this episode, which is funny, and it'll be even funnier when you kind of get, well, without spoiling it.
Have we figured out how that whole thing happened?
You haven't.
Okay, because that makes zero sense to me.
You'll get some exposition later.
Okay, good.
Without spoiling exactly what happens.
It's like imagining my mom and dad together. Like
no, I know. No, it's actually way worse than that.
Oh, good. Great.
So, I just thought that was funny. I put Ben, Danielle, and Alex acting like a family unit, LOL. And then, so the note about the music, so art within the art today, since I didn't see a lot of like reading and there wasn't a movie or anything mentioned in the episode, I went with the music because this is now the third time that I can remember, and there's probably been more times than 3, because I was sitting racking my brain trying to remember particular times that this happened. But this is the third time that I can remember Lost doing cognitive dissonance with music. So, and ironically, 2 of the times, or coincidentally, 2 of the times were with Mama Cass. All right. So, in today's episode, is the song is "It's Getting Better," which is playing during Michael's suicide attempt. So literally playing on the radio in the car as he's. Why didn't you just change the radio station? Because then I thought about that too. If you were going to kill yourself driving,
I probably wouldn't do it to any music. I wouldn't.
Oh, I think I would.
You would, yeah. Your life's a theater, but no,
without a doubt, I can hardly move.
Turn on My Way and hit the gas.
I can barely move around my house without some kind of music playing in my head. At least, like I need some kind of soundtrack going on. But I would put something on, but it for sure wouldn't be "It's Getting Better" by Mama Cass. Like that would not be the song I would pick.
I don't understand why. Obviously, that was intentional, and Mama Cass was like, she was defiant, and she broke the molds of the time. Like, she was talented and beautiful, but she didn't fit traditional beauty standards. She ate a banana on
Ed Sullivan.
Ed Sullivan show because she was pissed off they were making him lip sing. So she was eating a banana while she was supposed to be singing.
Yeah, lip syncing is not popular with like actual artists.
Talented
They're
people.
Like,
so
Ashley Simpson, on the other hand.
So I don't understand why they picked Mama Cass.
They picked the song, I think, to highlight. Just like I'll give you two other examples here.
Don't kill yourself because it gets better.
No, they're picking that particular kind of song to highlight like the difference between how things actually are and how they feel on the inside. So like Michael has a purpose, Really, he has a purpose that's as simple as you're a dad, keep trying to be a dad, right? But like it feels like he doesn't, so he's committing suicide. So you've got "It's Getting Better" by Mama Cass playing. At the first episode of season 2, isolated Desmond, who's been alone for a very long time, doing his little morning routine, listening to also Mama Cass make your own kind of music.
Yep.
Which he is listening to and almost certainly just absolutely racked with loneliness and isolation. So that's dissonant as well. But another time that I remembered is I don't know if it's the first episode of season 3, it might be. But do you remember that Juliet, when she's getting ready for her little book club thing, she's baking and that song Downtown's playing?
Yeah,
Downtown. Which you would...
Yeah. That's Mama Cass?
No. It's just an upbeat song. So like,
and she's like crying and stuff. Yeah.
Literally having an emotional breakdown. Yeah. So Lost does this. Like they're I think highlighting it's like a signal almost that Lost sends to its viewers. Like if you hear happy upbeat music,
bad stuff, baby.
Something terrible's about to happen. Okay? Cuz there was a well, that's not necessarily true. Remember Shambhala?
That was a joyful moment. But that's, well, yeah.
That's Hurley, though. That's different.
Yeah, that's our boy. What were we watching the other day? And I said, oh, that's their Hurley.
Yeah. What were we watching?
I can't remember, but I said, that's their Hurley. Anyway.
Remember the Titans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the big guy, whatever his name was. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's this using bright music on the outside it's like a mirror of dark internal moments, mirrored by sunny external moments. You've got, it's not necessarily that sunny, I guess, for Michael's situation, except that he's off the island. He's like one of the only people that actually made it off the island.
Well, and he got his son off the island too. Even if my kids were so pissed at me they wouldn't talk to me, if I knew that they were with a family member in a safe, normal place, like,
you may change your opinion about that.
At
some point. Yep. I actually wrote as a note a lot of exposition in this episode. So this is. You were going to mention it earlier. We're going to talk about it now. So Mr. Friendly says out loud to Michael, "You told a 10-year-old kid about murdering somebody?" And it's like, way to highlight out loud the guilt instead of just trying to demonstrate it somehow. Like he's saying out loud, like, "This is why you feel guilty, right, Michael?"
I love that. I think that was great.
ass. That is terrible writing.
Michael's got a lot of stuff to feel bad about. So, pick one. That's it. That's the one. Okay.
Yeah. The airplane explanation I thought was good in the sense that it's hard to just... That level of detail, it's hard to show. Like, to explain this grand plan of, like, digging up those bodies and putting them on a plane and sinking it and all that, like, it would have been hard, granted, to, like, do that without exposition. So yeah. I get that they had to do the airplane thing with exposition. That's fine. All right. So also wanted to point out, we talked about it while the episode was on, but another little Easter egg to show kind of the timeline, because you were getting confused about the flash forward, flash back. Like,
yeah, I was like, where are we at?
When Michael's getting on the freighter, he talks to Naomi. She says a couple of words to him, and he says, Manchester?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he knows that because of Charlie, who is also from Manchester. So, yeah, he knows the Manchester accent, which he'd have had no reason to know the Manchester accent, Yeah,
it was Charlie.
Because I think his horrible, monstrous ex-wife moved to London, right? Was it London she was living in? I don't know. In hell, wherever she was. She's living in hell now. Like, I don't know where she was living at the time, but now she's in hell. Permanent resident. Not a fan. Anyway, so... Yeah, he knows the Manchester accent because of Charlie, points it out. So I thought that was a sweet Easter egg to call back. Like,
it's my boy.
Charlie. All right, so another thing that you pointed out, which is kind of art within the art. It's just suggested, but and that's what makes it so good. When Michael meets Miles... and they're getting ready to get on the boat. Miles is eating an orange.
And he offers it to him.
So, oranges in cinema are absolutely married to and synonymous with violence. So, orange, the fruit.
As soon as I saw the orange, I was like, oh, it's about to go down. Something bad's happening.
Yeah, it is a bowl of oranges or an orange sitting somewhere is now like it's like a... wink. It's like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's a motif.
The gun thing? Chekhov's gun.
Yeah. It's like Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
So when you see an orange somewhere, you can expect some kind of violence. Now, it might be like emotional violence or it might be spiritual violence or something. In this case, we're headed toward physical violence. But
he's about to go open up a bomb.
So he's got that orange, right? And so where that comes from, so the first time that was ever used was in The Godfather, which Morgan hasn't seen, and it is probably one of the most recognizable scenes in the history of cinema, and it would have been wild for the time that it came out. Like, when Godfather was originally produced, there's a scene, and it's a spoiler, but you're going to watch The Godfather at some point.
I will, I'm sure.
Absolutely amazing movie. But so Vito Corleone, who's the head of the Corleone family, there's an assassination attempt on him, and as he is like shot at and falls over this table, and there's this car like driving past shooting at him with machine guns and stuff, a table knocks over and a bunch of oranges roll on the ground next to him. So it's such a striking, because it was made in the 70s, The Godfather, and because the film is not as good, then those oranges really stick out. So like while you're watching it, you go like, that doesn't look right, almost. Like you watch it, it's like, that's weird kind of to have in this scene. And so then filmmakers started going like, because The Godfather is renowned, I think it's ranked number 2 after Citizen Kane for like best movies ever made or whatever. It's
I've never seen Citizen Kane.
Me neither.
Okay.
There's no way it's better than The Godfather. But they started going like, we'll use it, right? Just like, because now we can use an orange and people will go, it's like The Godfather. So you've got like a Clockwork Orange, which I'll have to look and see if Anthony Burgess wrote that before The Godfather was produced or after. But when it was made into a film, the Malcolm McDowell film, which, fun fact, Morgan dressed up like the main character from The Clockwork Orange one time for Halloween, and it was a great outfit.
It was, and I was the only person at work who dressed up.
Yeah, other people were supposed to dress up, and she was the only one.
Nobody did, just me.
So, obviously, in Clockwork Orange, there's oranges, and then in another one of my favorite TV shows, Breaking Bad, there's a scene where a character is permanently paralyzed, and in the middle of that scene, a bowl of oranges tips over and onto the ground and empties out all over the floor. So there's oranges all over the place. Yeah. If you can't think of the person, I don't want to say it out loud in case somebody wants to watch Breaking Bad.
Which you should if you haven't.
If you liked, I mean, it's not super similar to Lost.
No, there's no like mystery really, but it's action packed and well written.
It's exceedingly high quality, very, very good acting, and very tense at times.
Yes.
Just like hold your breath. And I loved Lost so much, but the only thing that puts Breaking Bad ahead of Lost for me is a moment in Breaking Bad where I literally screamed at my television. So it was like a thing happened and I screamed at my television and felt like crying. So it was like I couldn't believe what I was watching.
I did too. I was like,
and,
no!
Right. And it's because it affected me that way, it's got to take the number one spot. And obviously I'm bald because of dressing as Walter White for Halloween one time and I liked it, so I just kept it. But outside of that, we saw Miles eating that orange, and Morgan was like, orange, right? Because she's heard me talk about it before. Hopefully there's some violence tonight against Oklahoma.
I was waiting to segue into that.
Yeah, I am. It is game day here in Tennessee, and I'm just going to share, this isn't even to do with Lost, but you know what? It's my podcast. I'm going to talk about it if I want to. So in the week, we're going to a dinner party this weekend. It's going to be a great dinner party. It's going to be a couple other couples there.
I'm so excited.
It's like 7 courses or whatever.
And our friend that we love desperately is putting it on, and it's a whole thing. Through
the week, okay, I was operating under the assumption that this dinner party was happening on Saturday, which is game day. Now, you guys need to know about me that there's not a whole lot that's more important to me than watching the Tennessee football game. All right, so I was like, okay, stupid to have it on a Saturday, right? But like, her boyfriend is super into Tennessee as well. I knew I'd get to watch the game even if I was at this dinner party. I'm like, okay, right? But in the week, okay, I was offered tickets 3 times to this game. And I turned them down, all right? They're hard to get. Tennessee, Oklahoma is a big game, all right? And then we found out after I had said no 3 times to tickets that the dinner party was on Sunday. So here I am, absolutely devastated because sometimes people don't pay attention to the words in text messages and then communicate those words appropriately. So,
well, this has been fun.
So anyway, that's just me grieving a little bit. I hope you enjoyed it. So something that we also noticed, and I can't believe they didn't use this as an opportunity to use the numbers, but the code for the bomb is 71776.
Can you math that out and make it?
I mean, 7 and 1 is 8.
Yeah.
You know, but 7 and 6 is 13, right? 7 and 7 is 14. Not really.
Yeah.
I don't think so. All right, so here's a question. Why is Michael haunted by Libby, but not Ana Lucia?
Because I think he felt like he had to kill Ana Lucia and Libby was an accident.
I think it's because he maybe thought Ana Lucia was a little bit of an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't care for her, I don't think. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Libby was just like...
truly an accident.
Yeah, like, well, not an accident. I mean, he didn't mean to kill her. He just, like, ah!
Well, he meant to kill Ana Lucia.
Yes, he did. That was intentional, premeditated. And, you know, Ana Lucia was Hurley's girl. Or not Ana Lucia, Libby was Hurley's girl, and they were, you know.
Yeah.
So, there's all
Libby
kinds
was
of...
Hurley's girl.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Also, I find it ironic that Saeed was so pissed at Michael for working with Ben. And then,
yeah. As the fucking tables turn later, Saeed getting himself sewn up.
Yep. Working for Ben.
Isn't that strange?
So something I wanted to point out, there's a little bit of an emphasis, especially this season. So you've got like Miles with his kind of medium work or whatever, you know, and
which he hasn't done like, at all.
Desmond predicting the future and all that. Right before Carl gets shot, he gets a bad feeling. Remember?
No.
Yes, him and Danielle are knelt down there, and they're like trying to figure out what to do, and Carl suddenly gets a bad feeling. He says out loud, like, "Oh, I've got a bad feeling," or whatever.
Well, they say that sometimes people can, like, get a premonition of their own death. If you get a sudden sense of, like, doom or dread, you might be fixing to die.
Well, that must be really hard for people with really high anxiety.
Literally, do you have any idea? That's why I'm so convinced that I'm dying all the time. I feel doom and dread all the time, you know?
Yeah, Morgan, we're both highly anxious people. We just deal with it differently. So Morgan gets anxious and just like scrambles around in her own skin, right? So she just like, wherever she's sitting, she'll suddenly do that anxious breath, which is like... like that, just out of nowhere, right? And I'll go like, what horrible like thought is occurring to you right now? Is the world ending, or if you got cancer or whatever? And it's
I'm
like
all the time thinking I've got some kind of horrible disease, or an asteroid's coming,
yeah,
or what have you,
and or like, oh, we're about to get home invaded or whatever.
I've
and
never
it's like,
thought that.
I'm just making stuff up. Now you're gonna think that, right? You're gonna be like, we're just sitting still and we get home invaded.
Not here.
Yeah, now and guaranteed it's going to happen.
Not happening.
Meanwhile, how I manage my anxiety is to just be ultra productive all the time. So my brain doesn't have any time. So I start to get anxious and I go, well, better go clean something or do some laundry or do some work or something. And then I just like, the darkness is creeping towards you. Just turn your back on it. That's how I deal with my anxiety. She'll tell you I'm always doing something. I fill up like every minute of my day, essentially. So I can't think about it.
Yeah.
Because I am not a good multitasker. If I'm doing dishes or something, that's what I'm doing. Or if I'm doing my job or whatever, that's what I'm doing. It's like, to have a conversation on the side of that, even with myself, about what I'm anxious about is virtually impossible. Can't happen. Which is why when I put my headphones in and people will pop into the kitchen while I'm trying to cook. And,
God forbid I try to talk to you in our home.
Last note, why does Locke, and got my own theory here, why does Locke refuse to call Sawyer Sawyer?
It's like a control thing. It's like a, because, Ben does it too. Ben calls him James too.
Yes, but I don't think for the same reason.
No, it's like a, I know the real you, like, I know what's up, control, power thing.
I think that's Ben's reason. I don't think that's Locke's reason.
Why do you think it's Locke's reason?
Well, so you know how you get this sense in the early seasons where Locke is doing his like philosophical battle with Jack, and he's like, he's like gonna let the button go off or whatever, and Jack pushes the button, and Locke is trying to prove to Jack, like, you believe too. Like, you're also a believer. You think you're not a believer, but you're also a believer. He's trying to prove that to Jack. I think that Locke doesn't want to engage with something that he thinks of as, like, inauthentic or false. So it's like, once he
that makes sense.
Once he learns that Sawyer's name is James, he's not going to deal with this fiction anymore. So, like, when he's talking to James. Also,
that makes sense.
I think that Locke, let's pretend that he's not been a total idiot, colossal asshole for the last couple episodes. Let's do like whole series Locke instead of just last couple episodes. Locke kind of naively sees the best in people. Remember when he got taken in by that DEA agent or whatever, and
the hippie people
and his dad, he wants to believe the best in people, and I think he thinks this Sawyer character you've created is a lost cause, but there's hope for James.
Yeah.
So, like, I can talk to and deal with James. And it's interesting, right? Because Sawyer went to all the trouble of creating this new identity, and he's got a new name and all that. And you'd think that he'd be a lot more angry about Locke calling him James.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything. He never did. He never has the whole time when Locke has been like, James. He's never been like...
I think that Locke is engaging with a hypothetical positive version of Sawyer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd take it as just like it's like an outreached hand. Every time he's talking to Sawyer, he's like,
Yeah. And, Sawyer, we know, has shown flashes of both, like, being a total dickhead and then also being a really good person. Like,
He's damaged, and he has done bad things, and he is selfish and all that, but he's not a bad dude.
I do want to point out that I think how Locke deals with Sawyer is so much more healthy and wholesome than he deals with, like, he wouldn't... Like, remember when Charlie was trying to lie to him about the drugs and all that, and he was like, oh, bullshit, or whatever, and like, and all that. But, so he's dealing with James. He calls him James. Mm-hmm. Kate still calls him Sawyer.
Yeah, because that's what she knows him as.
She knows his name is James.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you told me right now, hey, my name is actually Richard... I would still call you Joe.
I think but we're talking about a TV show that was written here. So, like, I think it's symbolic. I think that Kate, who clearly does not think she deserves, like, because she had that happy relationship with that police officer. Mm-hmm. Don't forget. Yeah. It was, like, authentic and happy.
And she drugged him and gave him his mom's necklace back, which was damn decent of her.
And Jack's damaged, right? Decent. But Jack is also a doctor who was in the middle of, like, healing everybody on the island and helping people when she decided to, like, abscond with Sawyer.
Yes.
So I think that she calls him Sawyer because she thinks that she could deserve Sawyer. Mm. I think that
maybe
this, like, mega positive version of Sawyer that's like an improved,
wanting to play house or whatever.
Exactly, right? She don't want to play house with Sawyer. Like, because Sawyer's
she don't want to play house with James.
Sawyer's not somebody you play house with. It's like that old expression of, like, that's not somebody you bring home to your mom, right? Like, that's what Sawyer is. So, unfortunately, like, this, you kind of think in the beginning that this relationship will be toxic because it's Kate and Sawyer. It's really just toxic because it's Kate. Like,
she sucks.
She is not getting better at this point. So, Sawyer is taking little steps, and I think the writers probably had to make him less hostile and, like, he says less, like, racist stuff now, and like, because he was pretty unlikable in season 1, but he's starting to. I think one of the things they decided to lean on, and I can't prove it because I'm not in the writer's room, but I think they were like, what if we leaned into his southernness a little bit? So, like, when he's talking, he really turns that accent up. When his hair is a little bit nicer now that he's, like, found a shower and stuff. It's, like, done usually. And he's like, well, why don't you tell us who your spy is on the boat then, Ben? Right? It's like a little more hillbilly. Mm-hmm. And I think I've mentioned to people that being from here, if you go somewhere else, people will kind of naturally assume innocence or stupidity whenever we have the accent that we have. As they'll go, like, either this person has not done something wrong, or, like, in this situation,
too stupid to know how to do anything wrong.
Yeah, they're too stupid. Yeah. These little hillbillies, they don't know what they're doing. So, any other thoughts on this episode?
Thought it was great. And I'm excited to see the next one.
If I'm right about what the next one is, it's a really good one. I'll have to look in a second.
What's it called?
Well, I'll look into that in a second. Let us do Messages in a Bottle. Okay, so
Greg gave us a direct shout out on something. Somebody had posted something, and Greg said, Joe and Morgan talk about this in their podcast. So he's just shouting us out all over the place.
It was the turning point when Ben shows Jack the Red Sox winning the pennant. And it's like how we know that, this is happening in our world. Mm-hmm. This is not like some distant world or whatever. This is happening here. All right, so let's go to the newest. All right, from GE on. Kira, many people don't realize Toni Collette is Australian. Here she is, full accent and all, in her first breakout role, an Aussie cult classic called Muriel's Wedding, one of 2 Australian movies that came out in 1994, the other being Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, that heavily featured ABBA's music. whose overwhelming success is why ABBA stopped approving their music on other projects and started doing their own movies and musicals, Mamma Mia, when they realized how much money they can make.
I didn't know that ABBA wrote Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia,
here I
go again, my.
How can I resist it? I've never seen that.
I haven't either, but I get the conceit of it. Like it's a girl whose dad could be one of 3 different men, and she's
Mamma Mia.
Meryl Streep is the mother.
That's the only reason I know that song is because it's in the commercials.
Daniel says, agree that Juliet did the right thing telling Jen about son cheating. She tried everything she could and had to resort to the nuclear option to save her life. Yeah. I said, I think I could agree it was wrong if she had not earnestly tried everything else, which is true. That's how I felt.
What in the world?
That's just a picture that Matt took of us for drum roll. Where I love the screen grabs. That's great. Greg says, Joe, the Panda Bear is even more expensive when you consider it was 2000-2001 when Jen's flashback is set as confirmed by the clue that were the cell phone model scene.
Yeah, he had like a Nokia.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think.
That was an expensive ass teddy bear.
So, obviously, at the time that I watched the show, I didn't know anything about won, which is like the Korean currency. But ever since then,
because of Squid Games.
Squid Games has come out, and everybody knows how much 45 billion won is worth, right?
Not that much.
I'm sure that
I would not kill everybody that I've ever seen or whatever for $131,000 or whatever.
I'm sure that Korean.
Are you Googling it right now?
Yeah. 45 billion won to US dollars is 31 million.
Oh, okay. Well,
so it's still a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
But it's not billions.
It's not, multiple billions. Yeah, that's crazy.
Billions with a B. Let me just make sure there's no comments on the YouTubes that are not. Okay, yeah, there are. Greg says, gonna make a shirt that says FAIBS, and on the back, Facebook AI is BS.
I'll buy one, Greg.
Toni Collette is not only an Aussie but wonderful to work with. As a good person, as good a person as she is an actor.
I love that.
She's lead in Muriel's Wedding, where she's as Aussie as can be.
I love that.
Yeah,
she's fantastic.
Yeah. So, and then he goes on to discuss why the group was temporarily blocked again, which I won't read out because
it's stupid, and we don't even want to give that any mental. We don't hold space for that. We're not going to manifest that anymore.
Yeah, we're obviously we're not Mark Zuckerberg's dumb AI fans. I like to think that Mark Zuckerberg himself is an AI, and he was just a really early version.
Sweet baby Ray's.
If y'all have never seen the video of Mark Zuckerberg
doing the barbecue in his backyard with his green egg and his Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce.
He's trying to be relatable by he's grilling out and he says Sweet Baby Ray's way too many times.
So many times.
If you had a friend at your house who said Sweet Baby Ray's that amount of times, you would go is this like a joke or something?
Are you getting paid for this?
Yeah. Is this an advertisement? What's going on? Right?
I love it.
Yeah. So, Sweet Baby Ray's.
Sweet Baby Ray's.
So, the next episode, which I will look up here. I think I already said any other thoughts, but.
I don't have any other thoughts.
The next episode is called The Shape of Things to Come.
Ooh, ominous.
So Losties will know that this episode is infamous, not because it's a bad episode, but because of stuff. So, so The Shape of Things to Come is next. So I'm very much looking forward to our reaction to that video. So, the Tennessee game is in 3 hours, so I may have time to squeeze it in real quick. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. And we will see you in another life.